Hello, hello, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at headlines from our city, state, and country. We take a look at your beautiful comments, ideas, and suggestions about how to connect with each other and with our city, Puerto Vallarta, as a community of English speaking locals. Today is Friday, and as always, it is a pleasure to get together with you today, Friday, June the 2nd. We welcome everyone to the broadcast. And if this is the first time that you're watching live, you want to let us know, add the word new to your comment, and we'll be so happy to give you a nice little welcome. Also, if there's something really important that you want to bring to the table, adding a capital letter Q at the beginning of your comment helps a lot as we look for these comments later on in the broadcast. Today, we have all kinds of news, including a reality check from the night before's very successful, massive event that took place in Puerto Vallarta. We also have news about the weather, some bad news that the municipality received. We have yet another important announcement to make as we continue to look for revenue streams here at Coffee and Headlines, and some awesome news for Star Trek fans. So let us get started. Okay, so we showed you this yesterday, the glorious, beautiful, successful look of the massive concert that took place at the Malecón 2 nights ago. Everybody looked at these photos. We all thought it was wonderful. But who cleans after that? And does the city have the personnel required to clean after such an event? 50,000 people that are probably drinking something and at some point need to go and relieve themselves one way or another. So this is what the Malecón looked like at 3 o'clock in the morning after the massive concert. And it hasn't rained, so people were reporting all day yesterday that the whole downtown area stinks of pee. And that's not a nice visual, at least not for me. Of course, there's only so much personnel in the city devoted to keeping the city clean. So this is one of those reality checks that makes us wonder if massive events like this shouldn't be happening in the Malecón to begin with. There are other spaces in town that would be more suitable for this. And didn't we have a conversation not even too long ago about the fact that massive events are not allowed by law in the Malecón? So one has to wonder how these things actually come about. I don't know, but do I want to be walking around downtown Puerto Vallarta when it stinks of pee? Not particularly. And here's a little blow, well, not so little, a 160 million peso blow for Puerto Vallarta. What happens when you decide to build something in a piece of land that is not only not your property, but it actually belongs to a different state? Apparently, this happened to our fair city when it decided to build a sports complex in Las Juntas, but the land was not only part of the municipality, was not only, okay, the land was not a part of our municipality, and it even belonged to a different state. It belongs to Nayarit. The Valle de Banderas Ejido sued the Puerto Vallarta city, the Puerto Vallarta municipality, and a judge has resolved the issue in favor of the Nayarit Ejido, and now Puerto Vallarta must pay 160 million pesos, and our city loses 38,000 square meters of territory that has been returned to Nayarit. Ouch. I say, tómala for that one. And the much lauded Maya train is not the only train to talk about these days. President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has finally reached an agreement with Grupo México, a company that owns the right to rail tracks that have prevented the development of another important train project. And this is the train that would connect Mexico's Pacific Ocean with the Gulf in the narrowest stretch of the country known as the Istmo de Tehuantepec, connecting the states of Veracruz and Oaxaca. Like the Maya train, this is expected to be both a freight train and also provide passenger service. I have also read elsewhere that President López Obrador is looking to bring back the train from Mexico City to Querétaro. I remember as a teenager riding the train from Mexico City to San Miguel de Allende, which was a lot of fun and a great way to get to that beautiful city. But back to the Istmo de Tehuantepec, you have no idea how difficult it is for a Mexican tongue to say the word Istmo in English. I tried it a couple of times. I think it's something like isthmus or something weird in there that I cannot actually pronounce properly. But this is another train that is coming, and it's probably coming sooner than later. I thought you might want to know. And speaking of want to know, the National Weather Service has indicated that a heat wave forecast has been forecast for this weekend, bringing extreme heat to 12 states in the country, including, of course, Jalisco and Nayarit. We'll have a look at our weather forecast in a minute. But first, our third and final important announcement this week as we look for new creative ways to find revenue for Coffee and Headlines without disturbing the fabric of what we set out to do, which is to create a community-based project devoid of advertisers. On Monday, we announced, what did we announce on Monday? Oh my God. On Monday, we announced the ability to commission walking tours and walk-arounds for businesses that are looking to get people to see what their business looks like ahead of time. On Wednesday, we announced some modification to our membership fees and added a new tier. And these changes have been welcomed positively, or at least I have not received negative feedback yet. And the final announcement has to do with what I'm calling community partners or business partner sponsors. We are going to open up the opportunity for 5 local businesses to become community partner sponsors. Local businesses hoping to increase their online visibility through Coffee and Headlines. The way it's going to work is any one of these 5 community partner sponsors is going to get exposure along the lines of their name and website appearing at the beginning of the comments on the beginning of every broadcast. So that would be about 312 broadcasts per year. The community partners will also receive acknowledgement of name and website on the show notes, and that would be 624 times a year because we publish our show notes not only on the website, but also on the YouTube channel. And we are instituting a new tradition here at Coffee and Headlines. Every week on Saturday, we are going to acknowledge these 5 community sponsors and also acknowledge all the new members that have joined coffee and headlines in the last few days. And this is going to be $300 a year per community partner. So I'm going to be updating the website over the weekend and the Buy Me a Coffee page over the weekend to reflect these changes. The money raised for this from this initiative will pretty much cover the expenses of running coffee and headlines on a day-to-day basis, from the software that we use to the internet connection and so forth and so on. So hopefully enduring or going through 5 minutes every Saturday of acknowledgments will not change the dynamic of what we do here. We do not want to have advertisers and banners and this, that, and the other. We've never wanted that, and that continues to be the case. But I will be so grateful to you, viewers, if you allow me the opportunity to introduce 5 sponsors so that we can offset the cost of doing coffee and headlines. Now, let's see about that heat wave and see how it's going to affect us here in Puerto Vallarta. Let's turn over to the weather forecast. Alan says, that's a lot of Butterfingers. Yes, that's a lot of Butterfingers. It takes a lot of Butterfingers to run coffee and headlines, actually. But before we look at your comments, our snarky weatherman says, just think how many wacky versions of me exist in the Spider-Verse. I don't even want to think about that. It is 27 degrees right now. Feels like 29. Humidity is high at 76%. We know it's going to get higher later on in the season, but who am I to say this? It is 80 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And of course, our forecast for today says it's going to be humid with partly cloudy skies throughout the day, a high of 29 and a low of 23. Saturday will be humid with mostly clear skies, but a few clouds may be wandering around with a high of 29 and a low of 23. Not much of a chance of showers of any kind. And then on Sunday, it'll be a humid day with mostly clear skies throughout the day, a high of 31 and a low of 23. So there's going to be a need of a lot of water in downtown Puerto Vallarta to clean. Well, we talked about it earlier. You know, a good rain shower would have taken care of it. But nope, I wonder how the city is going to go about taking care of the cleaning of downtown Puerto Vallarta after that massive event. I have 2 more things that I want to mention to you if you were getting all giddy about the new Chinese mini electric vehicle we told you would be available through Costco and Sam's, and that requires assembly. Hold on to your horse. Hold your horses or hold on to your horses. It's one of the two. Just don't run out the door to try to get one. The Changli S1 Pro is actually forbidden in Mexico, or at least it is caught in the importation red tape such that even at a 20,000 peso or so price tag, and even though they are now starting to be seen in northern states such as Nuevo León, Tamaulipas, and Hidalgo, they are not circulating legally, apparently. Case in point, the vehicles don't seem to have, for example, a braking system that conforms with the safety standards that are required in vehicles here in Mexico. And that's just one example of how it's not like we're going to go hop on one of these vehicles legally anytime in the near future. Then this is a little mundane, but what do I know? Maybe there are other Star Trek fans out there. Paramount has announced that the whole first season of Star Trek Strange New Worlds is available for free on their Paramount Plus YouTube channel. So if you are not acquainted with this particular series, here's a chance for you to enjoy it and maybe live long and prosper. Oh dear, that deserves one of these. Hold on. Live long and prosper. And of course, this is Friday. I want to remind you of a couple of events this afternoon. As you know, Ruta Mushi, the bus museum or the mobile museum for Puerto Vallarta, is going to be inaugurated today at 6 p.m. at Parque Hidalgo. So if you're curious about that, this is where you want to be. We also want to remind you that there's Salsa Saturday tomorrow at La Catrina Cantina. If you want to schwitz a little bit and learn a new dance and maybe have a cocktail or four, this is the place to be. And of course, I am getting all ready for my next music appreciation get together. Sounds familiar? Notable cases of music plagiarism, in which we're going to examine mostly popular songs that have employed melodies that came from classical music. Some did so or have done so legally, others not so much. So we're going to look at those songs that you may recognize, but you may simply not know. You may not know that they came from classical music, and that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be this coming Thursday. And now, let us see what you guys are thinking about, and take it from there. I'm looking for good mornings, and I'm looking for cues. I see a lot of good mornings, and that is always nice. Purim pum pim pam pam. Doody doo doo doo. Doody doo doo doo. Kelly McNeil says, for those of you here in beautiful PV, live music today at the Salty Caesar. Gloria and the Walkers are playing 3 p.m. start. Good. Hopefully Gloria and the Walkers, or the nice folks at Salty Caesar, will consider creating a Facebook event so that we can feature them more properly when we talk about upcoming events. But thank you for the tip, Kelly. It is much appreciated. Let's see. Thank you for your words, Maggie. I don't see you online frequently anymore, but I know that you have other commitments. But it's always great to read you, and I appreciate your appreciation and your support on these changes. Let's see what else. Doody doody doo. Doody doody doo. A sea of people is not my jam. Well, you know, I hear you, Karen. I went to massive concerts in my life, so I can check that off my list. And but no, that's not for me. Oh, a punster. We haven't seen puns in a while. You're in a lot of trouble with that many people. That was good. Thank you very much, Chris. We needed some humor as far as that is concerned. Maria Santa Lucia asks, what are your thoughts on the price of the peso? Well, my thoughts is that they're screwing with my well-being, because that's first my selfish reaction, because most of the money that I make comes from US dollars. And of course, if the US dollar doesn't stand as favorably against the peso, it's not good business for me. I think that if the peso is recovering, that shows signs that Mexican economy, as compared to the economy in the United States, is improving. There are advantages for many, but there are disadvantages for many as well. That's about as much as I can get into for that question. Let's see what else we have. Da-da-da-da. Gina Poo here. Hello, Gina, also known as Gina Poo. It's almost time to start planning our next meet and greet, which will hopefully be during my birthday month, July. That will be our summer get-together. Let's see what else. Finally did my duty to your revenues. Your explanation on Wednesday made it happen. Really appreciate your keeping me linked in. Gracias, Paco. Well, thank you very much, Deb. Thank you very much for your support. Jeannie says, love your sponsorship idea. If you love the sponsorship idea, please feel free to spread it. Spread the word around amongst your local business friends, because only 5 community sponsors will be invited per year. After a year, we will renew and we'll take it from there. Gina says, send me the details, please. Again, thank you very much for your interest, Gina. I will be updating the website and the FAQ and all the stuff online so that all the details are clear and transparent to everyone. Give me the weekend and I should have everything ready by Monday. This is an important question. What does the 105 and 55 signify in relationship to the Puerto Vallarta birthday celebration? 105 is 105 years since Puerto Vallarta was declared a municipality, and 55 years since Puerto Vallarta, the city, was declared as a city. So those are the two big numbers. Of course, 5 years ago, the numbers seem more important, 150. So 5 years ago, the celebration was massive. Massive? I don't even remember it. What am I talking about? Oh dear. Let's see what else. The cars remind me of ATVs. Well, I would probably want to drive something like that if I lived in an enclosed community like Punta Mita, but I don't know that I would feel safe taking it out on the street. Were people, male or female, taking advantage of the huge crowds the other night to relieve themselves out on the Malecon? Just wondering. Well, Frank, just think about it for a second. 50,000 people standing around for a concert that began at midnight and ended up at 3 o'clock in the morning after spending the evening out and about eating and drinking. You think they need a place to relieve themselves? Yes. Do you think the city put out enough porta potties for that? I would love to see the photographs. I actually don't think they did that. Let's see. I have no problems with restaurant and entertainment advertisements. Thank you very much for that, Charles. Again, I don't want to see advertisers in coffee and headlines. I am happy to have sponsors, but no, I don't want to see my website or your experience crowded with banners that belong to somebody else. Do I advertise my own pursuits, like my upcoming music appreciation lectures? Yes, but other people's? No, I don't think that's what you want. But do tell me if I'm wrong. So many other websites in town are plagued with the banners and things that are just distracting. I'm more interested in the actual connections that you make amongst yourselves and with our city and our culture. Ba-dum, bim, bam, bam, boom. Congratulations on your new ideas on broadcast. You're only getting better. Thank you for all your info and ideas. Thank you for that, Linda. If anything, not worrying so much about the income allows me to worry more about the content and how to best present it to you. And this is where we are coming from with all these improvements. And this brings us to the end of today's broadcast. I don't see any more comments. So as always, thank you. Thank you. This was an interesting, very challenging, but very inspiring week for me. A week of a lot of growth and a lot of thinking and projects and this, that, and the other. I have another announcement to make about an awesome workshop. And I think I'm going to be ready to make that announcement tomorrow. And if not, Monday at the latest. So go and have an amazing weekend. Stay kind, stay cool. Watch out for the weather. Keep drinking lots of water and stay in touch. I'll see you again. Oh my God, I'll see you again tomorrow. What am I talking about? It's only Friday. What do we have going on for tomorrow? Well, tomorrow will be our first day of acknowledgments. That's for sure. Have a good one, and I'll see you soon.